All right, we're live. All right, hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Market Trading. I'm your host, Vays, coming to you live from Brazil. I'm at a friend's office. They have a trading shop here. We're gonna bring a couple of people on in a bit to get their take on the market. How's my audio? How's my video? Door is open here in the conference room where I'm at, so hopefully we'll bring on a couple of traders from the office here, and we'll take a look at the markets. Let me get confirmation on audio video. And we'll go on from there. Yeah, Brazil's been great. The heat here is awesome. All right, hey guys, confirmation, audio, video, everything works? I'm not at my usual station. Okay, we're all good to go. All right, I'm gonna go to the charts. By the way, I wish I wasn't busy with life. I really wanna catch up on the BitBoy situation. I am so confused by this. Like, is he like what the hell happened? Well, like at first it's like I saw a headline that BitBoy is suing BitBoy, and I'm like, is he like suing himself? It's audio is not good. Not good or good? Let me double check. Audio should be good, right? Yeah, I have the mic right here. Right, I'm assuming it's good. And I have no idea what is happening here. I'm so confused. So people said to just catch up on the altcoin daily channel, and yeah, I'm dying to catch up on this. No idea what's going on, but it looks crazy. All right, you know what? Let's look at the charts, and then when the founders of the company comes over, we're gonna talk about other stuff. I'm on the right audio channel. You know what? Let me mute the other mic. Okay, this mic's muted. This mic's close to me. Should be okay. Right, but everyone knows him as BitBoy. Like, he is BitBoy. So I'm surprised he never owned the company, apparently. It's kind of crazy. And I think he just got arrested, which is also insane. All right, anyway, I'll try to catch up on it. There's a bunch of stuff I need to catch up on. I'm here in Brazil trying to catch up on the Brazilian politics, which are also very interesting. And the whole thing that's going on between Armenia and Azerbaijan. Like, to me, geopolitics is important. Let's talk charts. Let's see what happened over the last 24 hours. No, I didn't know the news. Like, I saw a little bit today. Like, I'm totally clueless in the BitBoy situation. But as you guys know, I don't really spend my time following people like BitBoy. Not how I spend my day. Let's look at charts. Right. How do you get kicked out of a company where you own 60%? That sounds crazy to me. I mean, it's possible that the company was structured as a DAO on a shitcoin, a blockchain, and then it doesn't matter if you own 60% because you can just change whatever you like. They're all centralized. So if you own 60% as part of like some kind of decentralized shitcoin, then yeah, this is totally normal and it makes complete sense. Okay, let's look at the price chart. Here's the weekly chart. We had a nice rebound on the MRI buy, and now we're trending down. We're now having our second red weekly candle in a row. Today is only Wednesday. We still have, some time to figure out which way this candle goes. I am still of the belief that the price is going to make a slightly lower low. It's a little bit tricky because I would like for this low to stay, as I would really like for the MRI to be accurate and for this MRI weekly buy to take us all the way up. I don't like being wrong. Also, since there is a 20% bullish position as of a week and a half ago, or like say a week ago, I don't really want to go back to 100% cash position either. But next week, if the price is trending below 26,000, I will have to resort back to a 100% cash position. I can avoid this if the price stays above 26 and starts to rally. And then the low would hold and the weekly low would be in place with the MRI buy for years and years to come. That would be super, super nice. But let's get back to reality. And in reality, our daily candle tried to rally back to the 50-day moving average in Bitcoin and got completely rejected. We are now looking at a 6th day as part of the MRI downward trend. So sometime this weekend, we are looking at an MRI buy. Now, this MRI buy this weekend could be a nice buying opportunity if we hold the MRI support line at 25,750 and then rally back up and break the 50-period moving average. It would be beautiful because then the weekly MRI would basically have like the 6-month low or the summer low. I mean, it's all the same thing. It's a double bottom, but we can have the seasonal low with the weekly and the buying opportunity on the daily MRI buy sometime this weekend. This would be also perfect. And we would avoid this box, the tone Vays final capitulation box. I would like to avoid it. And I would be okay with a double bottom, even though I don't like it. You guys know how I feel about double bottoms. Double bottoms are meant to be broken. I don't really want to see a bull market off of a double bottom, but in this particular double bottom, I would be fine with it because this particular double bottom is happening with a weekly MRI buy and a daily MRI buy, and it would almost prove that the MRI is more relevant than a double bottom chart pattern. Now, normally, I put a little bit more emphasis on the double bottom chart pattern than I do on the MRI itself. But when you have a daily MRI and a weekly MRI combining together, maybe they have equal weight with the double bottom. So we are analyzing all of this, taking it day by day. And sometime next week, we're going to know a lot about where Bitcoin is likely to go through the end of the year. On a short-term scale, Bitcoin rallied early this morning. I don't know why. Maybe, what was this actually? Yeah, I don't really know why. There was something about, Gary Gensler being forced by Congress to create a Bitcoin ETF. There's nothing that Congress can do. It's a joke. There are certain people that when you put in front of Congress, it's irrelevant. Like people in Congress know nothing about the financial markets other than insider trading. And forcing Gary Gensler to create a Bitcoin ETF is just plain stupid. Gary Gensler knows a lot more about the markets and whether there should or shouldn't be a Bitcoin ETF. And I haven't seen the hearing yet. I heard one of the senators or congressmen just like went off on Gary Gensler. And I think that was ill-advised. It feels more like the congressman is holding a big bag of shitcoins or bitcoins, and he's like forcing a regulator that knows what they're doing. In this case, I think Gary Gensler does know what he's doing. to do something that he feels is unsafe. And if Gary Gensler feels that the Bitcoin ETF is not ready, then I think Gary Gensler is right. So we'll see where it goes. I haven't, like I said, I haven't heard the hearings yet. Well, so much to do with so little time. GBTC discount, Bitcoin rallied a little bit today, and the GBTC discount is lessening. Like I said, I'm expecting it to go to zero now with the next big rally in the price of Bitcoin. So I'm looking at natural gas. Today is the day that the contracts flipped, but I am very surprised that there was this big gap. As you can see, in the past, like here's where the contract flipped from September to October, and now we're flipping from October to November. And the gap here wasn't that massive. And over here, there's no gap. And over here, there's no gap. And over here, there's no gap. So I'm not sure what is happening here. Let's go to the daily. This is the daily chart. Let's go to the weekly chart. I'm not sure what's going on here. It's strange that the contract flipped. Now I can probably force a specific contract in here. If I do, oh, interesting. This is a Russian flag. This is I can maybe switch this to a 2. Oh, wow, it's even a bigger gap. Okay. Didn't expect that. Yeah, we're going back to 1. So the gap is unfortunate. I expected us to break out, but I didn't expect us to break out like that. But it is what it is. The contracts have flipped. We're now going to be using the November contract going forward. And this is not good for Europe. Not good at all. Let's look at oil. Wow, look at that. So last week, after oil prices have not been going up, this week we're going up again. Let's see if we have the oil data. I don't really have time to do one of those polls. It's late enough in the day. We might have the latest oil data. Let's go and take a look. Let's refresh the chart. The last piece of data we have is our last piece of data is the 15th of September. So let's take a look and see what our current data is. And we have the latest data. And they're selling oil again. Oh my God. I give up. I can't with this government. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. They've become, are they just like degenerate, like oil futures traders? Like what the hell? Why the hell are you buying and then selling? This is insane. Someone needs to be in a mental asylum. Like they went from buying oil 2 weeks ago to selling oil last week. And are they buying oil again this week? Like what am I going to do with these boxes now? Like this is when they were buying oil. And now they're selling oil again? But what happened this week? So they've stopped buying oil at this point. So they bought oil for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. They've bought oil for 6 weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I have 7 weeks here. So the first week of August and the second week of September. Jesus. Oh, I guess I need to do this. So they're buying oil here and they're now selling oil. Well, then what the hell is happening this week? I don't know. I can't with this government. It's insane. You can so someone make this make sense. Please make this make sense. I can't make this make sense. Let's move on. Let's just move on. Gold, I'm now going to stick to the monthly chart of gold, just based on this MRI top. It is a consolidated top. It is a triple top if you go back a couple of years. And I do think gold will turn around soon and make new highs. Okay, really, really important. Look at the S&P. I haven't tweeted this out yet. I haven't had the time. What a beautiful reversal candle on an MRI buy. I was busy this morning, couldn't bring you guys a video, but everyone should have anticipated the MRI buy in the S&P 500. This is, I am taking it seriously. Look at the reversal candle. There's 1 hour to go in trading, and I expect this to be a reversal. Now, is it going to be a reversal to all the way to new highs? I don't know. But for the time being, I'm going to adjust this arrow. So the arrow is still going to point this way. I'm going to put it like this. I think we're going to rebound into the moving averages and then likely find a bottom sometime next month. I do think this is one of those MRI buys that is not going to lead to significant all-time highs. It can. We're going to reevaluate when we bounce back and meet a moving average. Simon, you're asking me a strange question. Can you move the stars and arrows around? How do you move something around, right? If I can move it around, I can cheat on the indicator, right? You can make them not display, I think. Like you can choose not to display the stars. You can choose not to display the some of the other stuff. Like you don't have to display these things. Wait, wrong indicator. You know, you don't have to display extensions. You can display none. And then all of these things will go away. This AB will go away. And you see, they all went away. You can choose to display nothing, but like it's up to you, really. You can choose not to display the stars. In fact, I'm not displaying the stars at all. So you can choose what to display and what to not display. You can't really not display the MRI buys itself because that's kind of the whole point of the indicator, but it's pretty customizable. It is a monthly sell on the S&P. This is why I think we're going to make a low next month, not this month at this point. The monthly sell in September is usually a bad month for the stock market. It's behaved with the MRI beautifully. And I do think that we're going to rebound and go to the upside. On a weekly scale, we actually have plenty of downside to go with the MRI. The MRI weekly still has multiple weeks of downside. So let's see how that works out. No, you can't choose whether it's above or below the candle, unfortunately. There's your future right there. So this is good. This could help Bitcoin as well. But I am looking for a 1 to 4 candle correction on the daily MRI. Some shitcoin, we were taking a look yesterday on the Russian speaking YouTube channel. And whatever this thing is, it has no end in sight. It'll keep going down. So let's talk about this. We tweeted this out this morning, and the bond market is showing that the rate on the 10-year, the 20-year, and the 30-year is topping with the MRI. The 10-year is the most important yield. It just hit a second consecutive MRI top. This is the daily chart. On a weekly scale, the 10-year is ready to top next week. And the 20-year still has some time. So does the 30-year. But the 10-year drives everything. I think the 10-year yield is the most important yield. I think the yields are feeling toppy, and they could turn. Also, the bond ETFs are showing MRI buys yesterday and today, extension C, extension B. I wouldn't be buying it today, but if we start to rally tomorrow or the day after, there could be buying opportunities there. So just keep an eye on the bond situation. Also, super interesting is what's happening in the FX market. Next week, we have a critical MRI top in the S&P 500. No, sorry, S&P 500. The dollar. In the dollar, we have an MRI top on the weekly right here coming in. And you can already see that the weekly British pound versus the dollar. Where is that? It goes down here. The pound versus the dollar has already hit its MRI buy. So the pound could rally against the dollar for a dead cat bounce. Also, the euro against the dollar is gonna hit an MRI buy tomorrow. This is the kind of MRI buy I like. I like the capitulation taking place on the candle before the MRI buy or the MRI buy candle. The dollar is rallying like crazy this week, and next week is likely to be a short-term top in the US dollar. Is it going to happen? We don't know, but I am preparing for a potential top in the US dollar. Can that help Bitcoin and gold? Potentially, but not as much. Like same thing with the Japanese yen. Next week, the Japanese yen is going to top versus the dollar. Now look at this ridiculous double top of the Japanese yen. The Japanese yen is in serious trouble. I think it's heading for 175. It's in serious trouble. All serious trouble. Let's go to goes back this far. There should be lots of data for the Japanese yen going into the 80s. Oh, never mind. The Japanese was very weak, the Japanese yen. Look at that. The Japanese was at its strongest in 1995, and then again in 2011, 2012. And this is not an all-time low for the Japanese yen, but it's going to head that way. Actually, it looks like the Japanese yen is in trouble. I just don't see what is going to cause the Japanese yen to there's no resistance absolutely anywhere. We're just going to let the MRI guide us. I'm not going to make it that crazy, right? Let's baby steps here. Let's stick with that. And the MRI on a monthly still has multiple months to go. We can take a 1 month break and then accelerate to the upside. This is very, very bad for the Japanese yen. Well, the USD is not on life support. I mean, Canada's on life support. Have you guys seen what's happening in Canada? Oh my God. Like, look at look at who America's measured against. It's measured against countries like Canada and Australia and Europe. It's like, this is Canada. I don't know if I can play the audio because I don't want my channel to get banned, but feel free to read the audio. This is Canada. I know it's a deep fake, but this is literally what just happened in Canada. Did you guys see what happened between Canada and India? I mean, like the dollar is not on life support. Like, the dollar is measured against like zombies. So it doesn't take much for the dollar to go super strong. It's not fake. I know it's not fake. Well, it's fake and it's not fake. I know, like this is the reality of what actually happened in Canada. It's just that that's not what he said. Like, I don't want to be like accused of saying something, right? But yes, this is what literally happened in Canada. I don't see how the New Zealand dollar can look strong, but we will take a look. I don't see how that's possible. So here's the New Zealand dollar measured in American dollars. So going down is bad and going up is good. So I don't see why this is a strong chart. Yes, it avoided this low on the MRI buy. And this thing is still going to go down. No, there's several Nazis in this clip. That's one. And then at the end, there's another, and then there's this one. All right, guys, let me see if I can get someone from the fund to talk about a few markets with us. Oh, the S&P is still rallying. That's nice. Let me look at the 10-minute chart. So when did the 10-minute chart bottom today? Bottomed at 140. Wow, a little surprising. I don't usually expect it to. No, Trudeau is just a communist. No, Trudeau is just a Marxist brainwashed communist by Marxist communist, same thing, by Klaus Schwab. No, I don't really look at the 1 hour all that often on Bitcoin. Did it show us anything useful? No. Yeah, and the thing with India is also crazy. If you guys want to know what happened there, Danny, want to talk about some markets? We got to get Thomas over here. All right, I'll open this later. Have a seat. Oh, wait, where'd she go? All right, well, she'll be back in a minute. This is a really good YouTube channel. I strongly recommend Amit Sengupta's YouTube channel. It's a great geopolitical YouTube channel. And he did a video explaining the relationship between India and oh yeah, here we go. We'll talk about this later. Thomas is coming too? Okay, cool. All right, we'll grab one more chair here. Hold on. Oh. I'm gonna make room for traders. Traders will actually trade all day long. Let me zoom out the video.
Hey, Tony.
Hey
guys, how you doing?
Here, grab a seat, and we'll put Danny on this side.
Okay.
Let me zoom out the camera a bit.
Could have taken this one.
Oh, that's okay. All right, someone sit here. I'm gonna we're gonna do this. Hey, okay. Oh, microphones. We can put that one there. This one here.
Okay.
All right. And now you can just hold it. You can just leave it there. All right. So right there, bull bear. So we have Thomas and we have Danny here. Thomas, why don't you go first? Tell us a little bit about the firm, what you guys do. Can we grab a puppy?
Yeah, of course.
As well.
Waka, Yuka, hey, just grab her.
Oh,
Malka is there.
that's a bigger one.
So
Cool.
yeah.
You got 3 of these running around.
So we are Bull and Bear Trader Society. I decided to open this firm to create a prop firm, a proprietary desk, since I've been trading professionally for about 6 years now. A couple of my friends asked me to teach them how to trade, and I've been teaching them how to be consistent in the market. And then in the end, I quit working for a bank here in Brazil, and then I decided to just open my proprietary desk firm. And then I invited Danielle to come work with us. Tony just came today to see the office, and he met our dogs and stuff. So what we do here, we teach people how to trade, and whenever they don't have the funds to trade, they take a test, and once they pass the test, then they can trade with our funds. This is our website. So today we are only working with the Brazilian stocks, but futurely we are planning to open up for crypto, international, global assets as the American stocks, and also Forex. So that's pretty much what Bull and Bear is today. And I have myself on Twitter. I'm not very active on Twitter. I should be more, but I will start posting more.
Too busy trading and making money. Yeah.
So I've been. People say that I should be more active in my social media accounts. It
is mostly in Portuguese.
Yeah. But whenever I post some graphics, if anybody wants to know whatever it says, just message me and I'll translate. I grew up in America, so I went to the States when it was around. It was in 2002. I was about 12 to 13 years old. Went to finish middle school and high school in the U.S. And then came back to Brazil, did some modeling for a while, and then went to university. And here we are with this prop firm. So if you guys have any questions about trading, like the Brazilian stock market or even crypto, just follow me on Instagram. And every once in a while, I post a few things about my vision of how I think the market will develop. So right now, I think we're in a consolidation. Very soon, I'm going to start spin sideways, and
yeah, we're going to talk about the markets in a second.
All right,
we're gonna look at some charts. Dan.
Hi, I started trading in 2021. Sorry, my English, but I started trading crypto. And now I'm in Curitiba, in Brazil, the prop desk to teaching other people how to trade Bitcoin. And that's it.
Yeah, so Danny and I actually met a year ago at Crypto Minds when I was here at the conference. And you were somewhat new to trading then. You were only a few years into trading. And now you joined the team here. And you focus more on crypto trading, and those guys focus more on the traditional markets.
I actually do both. It's just that I like to swing trade crypto. I think it's better for my health, and I don't lose so much hair being awake during after hours. And then I do day trading on stocks because we have a time limit, like 9 a.m. it opens, 6 p.m. it closes, and then that's it.
Yeah, so I think the political situation is probably stressing you out a little more than the market.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll get to that a little bit later. Okay, let's talk charts real quick. So let's talk the big picture. So in the big picture, this is Bitcoin. You know what? This is the Brazilian market. So let's do Bitcoin real quick. So this is what I have as a big picture. I think we're going to keep consolidating into the halving for the rest of the year. And then the bull market is going to start sometime next year and potentially get us as high as a few 100,000 in Bitcoin price.
He likes this.
Yeah. What's your view on the long-term picture of Bitcoin?
I do believe that Bitcoin has a big potential of going to 250 to 300,000 for the next bull run. I actually analyzed the last Bitcoin halving, and from the bottom of that March 20th in 2020, we had 16,000% upside from the bottom of it. So I was thinking that if we get something similar to 15,000 that we got this time, we might just jump to like 250 to 300,000 for the next cycle. And I think we'll consolidate around like 150 like whenever the cycle is over. I'm very bullish for Bitcoin. The only thing that is making me a little bit worried is about the recession in the US. Since right now, like I was just talking to a friend of mine and I just saw the 10 years, the 10-year bonds, they just went to 5%. So the
10-year
yeah.
is at
461.
The 30-year is at 473.
Okay, so it was the 10-year interest rate is on
The
is that-
20-year
yeah, the
is
20.
out of
Yeah, the
sync
20.
and it's hitting
Okay.
5.
Five, yeah.
490.
So it was a 20-year. We were talking about the interest rates for America right now, and whenever the long-term interest rates are going up, this is pretty much what precedes a recession. So I don't think we're gonna have a soft landing. I think we're gonna have like a very bad landing for the American economy. We had the credit bubble, and we haven't felt what happened to all the cheap credit that was spent in the past decade. I don't think Bitcoin will be affected, as in, okay, it might on the short term have a big drop down, but it will recover as fast like it did in COVID. So what I'm waiting for,
the yield curve is still pretty inverted.
correct, yeah. So what I'm trying to what I think right now is I'm waiting for this if it happens, right? So I've been saving half of my portfolio. So if it happens, I can just like take that as a window of opportunity. And if it doesn't happen, I just add to my position as it is right now. So while it consolidates, it's still okay. So I'm looking forward for the halving next year. Also, we have to wait for the 30, like I think it's 60 or 80 days after the halving. So when the transactions fee, the hash rate, it stabilizes. So every time people talk about halving, they always forget that you have those like 60 to 80 days that the transaction fee, the hash rate, you need to stabilize it before it just starts shooting up. So I'm very excited to see what's going to happen whenever 60 to 80 days after the halving next year, what will happen to the price. So I don't know, like I'm just very bullish, but for now, like just being careful with the American economy and looking forward to see what's going to happen after the halving.
Danny, any thoughts on the Bitcoin price? I also have a couple of charts here, like the historical look of how Bitcoin performed in relation to the halving. And it always seems to bottom over in this area.
Yeah.
And now we're in a consolidation phase. And after the halving, that's when things start to go up nicely.
Eu compartilho, não sei se vão traduzir.
Well,
Okay,
she shares the same thoughts as I do. She asked me to translate. So,
Da mesma visão.
yeah, same thoughts as I do.
Eu acho que a gente está no melhor momento de compra.
She believes we are in the best moment for us to keep buying crypto and Bitcoin.
Apesar da gente ter que tomar cuidado com a visão macro nesse momento também.
Although we have to take to be careful with the macro economics about the US and what the world is going on, but we're still in a good position in a good price area.
E contar com uma possível correção do Bitcoin aos níveis de 24, 20 mil dólares também.
So she's counting with a possible correction of Bitcoin to the levels of 24 to 20,000. No lower than that, no lower. But 24 to 20,000 is still possible in her vision. I think it is possible as well. If something happens to the American economy and the US just goes into recession, I think all the market will plunge, all the markets in general. We will recover faster, but that will be a good window of opportunity for us to be buying the deep, since we know that the halving is coming.
So I'm actually not that scared of an American recession. This has been a chart that I've been showing and following for about 8 years now. And I think the American stock market will continue going significantly higher for many reasons. One of the most interesting reasons is if we all think Bitcoin is going higher, I think every single private company is going to have Bitcoin on their balance sheet.
Yeah.
So by having Bitcoin, that automatically makes your company more stable. I think the government bonds are a big disaster, and people are going to invest more money into stocks. Inflation can also cause stock markets to rise. Either way, even if there was a recession, I still think private companies are going to do fairly well, relatively speaking. So I'm looking forward to the market continuing to rise.
Well, I share the vision about if nothing happens to the economy, like we have a good way up. But I think many companies are in America, they have to pretty much deal with the liquidity problem right now. Like I think there's a lot of banks that have a lot less liquidity than in the past decade. So credit is the interest on credit is going up. So that's one thing that if the bonds keep going up, I think banks may have pretty.
You mean the yields keep going up?
Yeah, if the yields keep going up.
Right.
The banks might suffer a bit, and this is what like I see for the macro, but we still have a long way to go. Like I don't know, nobody knows whenever it's gonna happen. So it could happen in like 1 or 2 or 3 years from now. It could happen tomorrow. We'll have the anti-fragile from Nassim Taleb.
I'm aware of it. I'm not actually a huge fan of Nassim Taleb, but I'm aware of the concept. Yes.
So what I like, so he wrote Black Swan. So what I like about Black Swan, his book, like making a just the idea of the book is like this. People underestimate the impact of improbability. So if something is improbable, like they just underestimate the impact that's going to happen. So whenever it happens, they just get crashed. So what I'm trying, like after I read the book, what I try to introduce it in my life is like this. If I have 1% chance of getting screwed in something, I try to mitigate that to the minimum possible. So having like a 10% 10% cash in for buying the dip or for putting in a position where I could make more profits. So it's never like risking all my portfolio into one operation, having different size and hedging it. So this is pretty much what I have right now. Like one thing, like I can also like jump into a like if something happens to the market, I can also short Bitcoin, and I don't really care. Like I just hedge my longs with a short, and then I wait for the short to be done, and then like I just add it to my longs to make a better medium price. But for that, you have to have capital. So I always like to mitigate my risk with that. But this is just a strategy. Anyways, like I said, that book made me always think of, okay, even if something never happened before, but if it turns into reality today, like you have to be prepared for it. So it's almost like being in a safe place. When you get old, you said about that. Like when people are too young and they start making money,
overtrade.
Yeah, they always take too much risk.
Older you get, the less often you enter trades.
Yeah.
Okay, so one last thing on Bitcoin, the daily chart. How are you seeing the daily chart right now? To me, it's a little bit mixed. I think we'll know sometime next week. My indicators are, they do have a potential short-term bottom. My weekly and daily MRI is telling me that we might have already bottomed and ready to go up, but I hate double bottoms. and I'm still based on chart patterns, I'm waiting for one final low, but a low that will not breach the $20,000 low back in March, because I've stated publicly, this is the Bitcoin buying opportunity of a lifetime right here. And between the hammer candle, 2 moving averages, my MRI indicator, everything lined up, I do not want to see that low get breached. I don't think it will, but a $23,000 low is possible. It will resolve my triple bottom mental problem. And from there, we can start to go to new highs. How do you see the daily chart right now?
So I believe that we haven't had the liquidity to go either up or down. So what it's doing is grabbing liquidity on the top, trying to make a down movement. For it to go up, it has to go to the 24 or even to 23-ish to be able to go up. So it has to go there, trigger the liquidity that it needs for the price to shoot up. I wouldn't want a movement going from where the price is right now, just going up without grabbing a liquidity down, because I would think that is a fake movement. So sorry for the I have stuff in there.
That's okay.
So I think it's very possible that we can go to 24 to 23,900, grab that liquidity there, and then just trigger an uptrend. And if something happens to America within this year and next year, then we might see some lows. But if nothing happens to the American economy, like it would be possible for us to just go grab that liquidity. Once he does, we just go like to 40, maybe to 50,000, and then we're gonna see higher highs, and the market will go there.
Danny, any final thoughts on Bitcoin before we go on to traditional markets?
No, that's it. I think eu acho que esse é o melhor momento para comprar. E acho que existe
English, you know English.
I think this is the best time to buy Bitcoin, but you need to count, ou você precisa contar que o Bitcoin pode corrigir, the Bitcoin correct to 20,000.
Yeah.
So
well, she's just since Donnie has been working with me for a while, like I've been they're very young and I'm a little older, so I always put the careful thoughts in their minds, being like, okay, even if you think it's going up, never forget that it could go down. So always, if you're positioning yourself, always leave like 10% or 15% of your portfolio out of the position to be able to actually enter at a better price with a better hand and make a better movement. And if it doesn't go down, what you do, you just add to your existing position, and that's fine as well. So it's a gain. It's a strategy that it's pretty decent. So that's it.
E muito cuidado com as altcoins, porque se acontecer essa correção do Bitcoin, as altcoins elas podem ir a patamares mais baixos. Né?
And one thing that Donnie just said was about the altcoins. So be very careful with the altcoins. I was actually talking to Tone today, and he said that that he doesn't trust altcoins. He's a Bitcoin maximalist, and he trusts Ethereum, but he's not very bullish with the other ones. So I agree with them totally. Like, you have to be very careful with which altcoins you guys wanna buy and you wanna like invest into, because anything that happens to Bitcoin or to the crypto market that might just go down and drop, like let's say 5% or 10% on Bitcoin, it will just drop like maybe 40 to 50% on the altcoins, and that will be a huge loss. So be very careful trading out. Like, always place your stop loss and don't leverage it too much.
All right, let's talk a little bit traditional markets. So we'll start with S&P, and then we're going to take a look at FX and Brazilian market as well. Perfect. On the daily S&P, we've been going down for a while. My indicator is pointing to a reversal as of today. We're getting a nice reversal candle today. It was actually looking much better a little bit earlier. We reversed. If I go to my 10-minute, that's my lowest all time frame. There was an MRI buy, MRI sell right there. That kind of ended our little run. 20 minutes left. I'm hoping the market rallies in the last 20 minutes. I want to see this close as a beautiful daily reversal candle. Take us up for a couple of days, but I do think the monthly charts still look bad. And I do have my support from the prior swing high around 4,200 on the S&P. I think that would be the ultimate bottom, and I'm still overall bullish on the market. I went full-blown bullish on the stock market right here in October. This is our daily chart, but I wasn't looking at the daily chart. I was looking at the weekly chart. The weekly MRI buy back here in October, which gave me a perfect buying opportunity, which happened inside the monthly MRI buy on the indicator right here. And I was calling for this reversal months in advance that September is historically the worst month for stocks. October is historically the reversal month for stocks. I've been bullish ever since. I still have the capital to stay bullish. We hit an MRI monthly. We're pulling back. I think 4,200 is good support. Only below 4,000 am I going to get concerned. As long as S&P stays above 4,000, I will remain bullish, anticipating new all-time highs next year. What is your estimate of the S&P? But I know you mostly trade the Brazilian markets.
Well, I've been looking with the S&P just because of crypto. Like we can't really trade S&P here in Brazil, but I look at the charts anyway. I think we are correcting to we had an impulse. Right now we're mitigating with a correction wave until those 4,200, and then we might be going up. I think you have a moving average there, right?
I do. These are my standard moving averages, 20, 50, 200.
Okay. So I believe that this is the 50, right?
Yeah, that should be the 50.
Okay. So I believe once you broke the 20, right now is going to reach for the 50, and then we might have a reversal at the 50, and then we can still be going up. If nothing happens, as I said, then the movement will just keep going up. If something happens, we might be concerned. We might be going to the 200 as well. So the only thing that is, I think the price is going down because of the bonds that are going up. The yields are going up as well. And then we have the Brazilian index, Ibovespa. The Brazilian index is really bad because our government is just lowering the interest rates.
Why are they lowering the interest rates?
Because of government pressure. So we still have inflation. Well, our inflation is under control, but is around 6 to 7%. And it's still it was going lower, it got to 9% right now, it started to go lower, 8%, 7%, 6%. And then they decided to cut down interest rates before it got to 3%, which is our target. So right now, the interest rates are being cut by the central bank. And once the interest rates are being cut, the government we just had a change on the political party controlling the presidency, the president's seat. So we had a guy from the right wing trying to pretty much not spend all the government's money, and right now the left wing just came in, and this year they're already in.
So the prior president actually left the country in good shape.
Yeah,
by leaving a lot of money for the government to use, and the current
it's spending more than what we have.
Marxist government has already spent it all and went into debt.
Yeah, exactly. And right now we are already on a deficit of 80 billion reais. That's going to be 15 to 20 billion dollars for next year. And we have no idea where that money is going to come from, and the market is only going worse. So since the interest rates are going down and the government spending is going up, the risk of the country is also going up, which is making our interest rates, our long-term interest rates, yields, to go up, and then is pressuring the Brazilian stock exchange and stock market to go down. So I think we might be aiming for, like right now is 113,000. I think we might be aiming to 105,000, 100,000. I think that's probably where it's going to end for the next, I don't know, 1 or 2 months.
So personally, I'm looking at this chart and I'm kind of bullish on your Brazilian stock market. I'm very bearish on your current government. And yeah, we had a fun time chatting about the election. By the way, I've now been in Brazil 5 days in multiple cities. I've already met hundreds of people, and I haven't met a single person that voted or even likes the current president and government of Brazil. So I don't know how he got elected, but I haven't met a single person that's his supporter.
Well, here in the South, like nobody likes. It's just I don't believe in the way he carries the economy. Whenever you spend more than what you already like make with the government, then the public account, you will never break even, and it's going to cause inflation. It's going to cause like poverty, and this is really bad. This is really, really bad. It's just, I don't believe, like the only thing that might help Brazil is that Brazil is not a very financial country. So most of our products and the companies that are on the stock exchange, they produce commodities. And right now we are on the cycle of commodity that I think we're gonna catch that cycle. So for the next 2 or 3 years, we might not have it as bad as if we didn't produce commodity. But anyway, like I think in the next 5 or 10 years, we're gonna feel very bad because of the decision that we are taking right now, as this government just like keeps making mistakes with the economy.
So as I look at the TA, to me, as long as it holds this cluster of moving averages on a monthly scale, I still think there's a good chance that the stock market will rally to the upside. Below the prior swing low on a monthly scale, it's trouble. The MRI was able to, pinpoint the COVID crash fairly well, and over here as well, back in 2018, hasn't shown anything on a monthly level. On a weekly scale, beautiful buy right there. We've been chatting about this indicator. Hopefully you got to start using it too. And this was an indication to take your profit. And right now, based on this red star candle on a weekly scale, I would be bearish. So I would be bearish, looking for support somewhere at around the 200 moving average, which is kind of flat. So on a weekly scale, it could go down for the rest of the year, maybe. Hard to say, but I would be either short or in cash on a weekly scale. And on a daily scale, this looks very bad, but the MRI is going to come in on Friday for a potential buy or a profit take off the short position. I watched you short this market today and profit from these trades.
I did. Well, while you were here starting your live,
you did one in the morning as well before we went to live.
So I got that short played out really well. Like if you put it on the 5 minutes, take a look. Just
yeah, and you have your own strategies to actually use divergences with the
look where it went. You went to almost 2%. today. Like you open up here.
This was
and-
the opening
yeah,
5 minute.
And then we got it here, and then after I got that one back to the bottom, and I got the way to the top.
Yeah, I saw you short the breakdown of over here.
Yeah.
The breakdown of the support. This is also the way I like to trade, guys. You've seen my videos. I love shorting the breakdown. Once the secondary low comes in, I love shorting the next time. And if I miss it, there's usually a fourth chance. What a beautiful back test. It was off of one of these back tests. And then there was another beautiful shorting opportunity, the break of these lows.
The moving averages are also like indicating fall. So
Yeah.
it's really good. Like you just,
And then you came back and back tested it once again. And if there was a trade to be made right now, it would definitely be a short trade off of this fall, but it's too late. No liquidity this late in the day. And you want to stay away from last minute pumps against your short trades. But yeah, it was very interesting sitting here watching. He's got like a giant monitor, 49-inch, like 8 charts. I'm back in a true trading environment. It's great. You want to talk about FX?
So you have
We have an entire Brazilian region, our northeast, which massively voted for Lula. I live here, and it's the most poor region in the country, but it's very populous. Yeah, the poor region will, of course, vote for the redistribution of wealth. I still don't believe it. I still don't believe he got that many votes. But hey, I'm not. It's not my country, so I try not to talk too much about countries I don't actually live in. Like the US.
I've been to the north. Like I had offices in the north when I was working for the bank, and even people that used to work in those offices, like what I see about those people is that people they don't look for the economical answer. They look for the social answer. And the social answer will always be wrong. You will always say what you want to hear, but you will always do whatever is worse for you and better for them. I don't believe in governments that try to tax you more than what it should, and that they don't cut down their own spending. So like while the government is making like, man, the judiciary in Brazil is the most expensive in the world.
Well, speaking of judiciary in Brazil, literally right before I went live, 5 minutes before I went live, I have a group for like, I have a Telegram group that, well, I have a Telegram group for trading, but also have a Telegram group for everything other than trading, which is mostly like politics and social issues. And literally the message comes in my group.
Socialist Lula.
Socialist
Converting Brazil into an authoritarian regime. Exactly.
And then it explains why, like they're looking to take away free speech from opponents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we have a radio channel here called Jovem Pan. So it's like young Pan, like the Peter Pan. So young Pan.
It's like the Young Turks, which is another, socialist propaganda channel.
No, but this is the only radio that criticizes.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay.
Yeah, that criticizes the government, and they're being shut down. They receive multiple penalties for saying that the government is taking their freedom of speech. And then one guy, one time, he was actually like in an interview, and he said, "Oh, will the judge allow me to say that? Does the president want me to say that?" And they were like, it was caught on camera. Like, oh, does this political party will allow me to say this, or will the judge sue me? And then they're using the judiciary to literally prosecute all the people there that are being the opposition of their parties. Like the leftists in Brazil, like they are very, like they're not political at all. Like they're even worse than the ones in America. They're very Marxist. They want communism to be back, and they're proud to say like, "Oh, we want to be communists."
Yeah,
it's insane.
I think freedom is going to win out in Brazil.
I hope so.
Speaking of Brazilian currency, I just pulled up the weekly chart of all the assets. The one that I least trust my indicator on is FX, because FX is just too manipulated in a way by the government. But there was a beautiful,
Beautiful buy.
MRI buy. Well, it's a bad thing for Brazilians because your currency is devaluing as it goes back about $5. I will say I am enjoying the $30 tomahawks around here. It's great. Like to me, food here is cheap. Panama meat is super expensive. Like a good ribeye in Panama at a good restaurant is going to be $100 US, more than in America, because they import it from America, so they like double the price. But here in Brazil, awesome meat at like $20, $30 for a good ribeye. It's amazing. Really, really good.
Tomorrow, I'm gonna take Tony to the best Brazilian meat that he will ever have, and ask him after you guys, in the next live that he makes, if it was that good, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the best meat you'll ever eat here in Brazil.
So I've been following the Brazilian real. Like we cover everything on this channel, and people ask from around the world. This was a nasty cup and handle on a monthly scale on a Brazilian real, and even back in 2019, I expected it to devalue quite a bit for 20-25%. It came close to my target, didn't really meet it, and I think it will get there. Like I do think the Brazilian real is in trouble. However, I do think I am very optimistic on the BRICS. Insanely optimistic on the BRICS. I think adding Argentina is a little rough right now.
Have you been following the Argentinian government run?
Yes.
So I think
I can't wait to watch him get elected. But there's a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a problem, right? But because he publicly stated he's not going to do business with any communist government, which is almost every government, right? Like, so I don't know who he's going to do business with, right? So he's already obviously Brazil. Obviously, he even said Russia and China, which I don't believe are, China more so than Russia. I don't believe Russia is a communist government. So he's like, I'm not going to do business with any leftist government, but that's every government. So I don't know who's going to do business with, but no, he has to do business with Brazil. He's the reason why Brazil is the reason why he's going to be in the BRICS to begin with. Now, what I found interesting was, did you know that the IMF forced Argentina to sign a paper that they're not going to adopt Bitcoin as a currency?
No.
For their loan. So the last IMF loan that IMF gave to Argentina, they made them sign a document that they would not be adopting Bitcoin like El Salvador did.
Okay.
Don't you find that crazy?
Well, of course, they don't want Bitcoin to be to take the US dollar position. But I don't what I like about Belay is that even though he doesn't adopt Bitcoin as the whole country, he can make a city. Like he's already stating that he might make a city that will work with El Salvador.
Yeah, he needs to create a free trade zone.
Yeah.
I mean, the Argentinian currency is just in free fall of hyperinflation.
So
there's no indicator to be used on it.
No, but take a look. Look where he was in 2017. So
I was there in 2016, by the way. I still have pesos in my wallet.
So
which I could have sold for 0.2 Bitcoin, by the way, at the time.
Imagine this, at the last time I went to Argentina, it was 17.
2016 when I went.
Yeah, I went in 2017.
I was there in 2016. 14, 15 pesos. Yeah.
And right now, it just went up 230%.
350 now.
Yeah.
It's insane.
So what we see is, and the Brazilian government is taking the same steps. You're saying that our currency is at 6. Imagine in 7-8 years from now, the US dollar is I don't know, 100 or 200 reais. It's gonna be insane, and it could go there because our government is taking the same steps as the Argentinian government.
I think your current government is going to get the real in a bit of trouble, but eventually there'll be another election. Eventually, a capitalist will get reelected. I like this. I really did. I thought he was a pretty good president. I know he's also a little corrupt, like they all are, has their own companies, but I still really, really liked him. I was hoping he'd get reelected.
Well, I can say the same. He's not the best of a choice. I really like the guy that is the governor of São Paulo. he was a guy, his name is Tarcísio. He was a guy that used to work with Bolsonaro. He was one of Bolsonaro's ministers, and he left Bolsonaro to run for the governmentship in the state of São Paulo, and he's doing a really good job. So right now, like Tarcísio for the next president election, he would be like my choice, no question, because he's the most prepared. And if that guy goes into presidency, I think Brazil could actually like make something good. And if he gets reelected in like 4 to 8 years, it's going to be amazing. We probably will have in 8 years where we're going to grow a lot, and it's going to be good.
Any other final thoughts before we wrap it up? Otherwise, I'm just going to do a plug for our financial summit taking place in Dubai.
I'm going.
Level 5 to 10. I think I've spent a good day, potentially convinced a couple of people here from the fund. We want some real traders there, not people that just teach trading like myself. And it's going to be great. It's absolutely perfect for what they do here with their shop. And it's going to be an amazing time just getting together with traders and discussing trading ideas. Right. Any other markets? Oh, and if you're in Vegas in December, we have our Bitcoin event there as well. Any final thoughts on any markets?
All good. We covered everything.
All right. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We're closing this stream out with over 200 live viewers. I think we hit about 250 to 300 in the middle of the stream. So that was great. And another video tomorrow. If something interesting happens, I'll be working out of this office for a couple of more days. So if something interesting happens, we'll bring more people on. Then, any closing thoughts?
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Anything, just let us know. Thank you, Tony.
All right. Thanks, guys. Cute puppies, by the way, running around. They're awesome.